Well, it looks like the end of 2024 is here, and today we're going to be doing a year-end review as we have done in the past years, and talking a little bit about the bikes and the channel. Can't believe the end of the year is already here. These last couple months have been a complete blur, and this is the first year that we took this channel seriously, so we have a lot to talk about, and I've bought quite a few bikes this year, so welcome back. If this is your first time watching, strap in, subscribe, and let's get into it. So getting into some of the things about the motorcycles, I've sold some bikes. There's some bikes that I want to buy, and we've also bought a lot of bikes, and we'll talk about those in a second. But the bikes that we sold, I have since sold my Yamaha R6, my Hodaka Ace 90, and my Suzuki GS550. The R6 I got a good offer on. One day, someday soon, I hope to buy another R6, but it will be in the colors that I wanted. I happened to find a really good deal on that particular R6, and I kind of just went for it and hoped for the best, and it turns out I got the deal of a lifetime on that bike. The Hodaka was a project that was supposed to be easier than what it ended up being, so I ended up selling the bike to someone who wanted to do the work to it. I'd have way too much time into that bike, and I just couldn't justify going into the future. Someday soon, I hope to buy another one, even though the market, I think, on those bikes will crash and burn, so I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I would like to have another one. And the Suzuki GS550, well, it simply needed small things. It was a really good bike. The new owners seeming to have some good luck with it and seeming to like it a lot, so I'm happy that someone's enjoying it, because I wasn't going to give it the small things that I needed, like just adjusting minor things, cleaning it up, because I have so many other projects, and on top of that, I want a GS750. Obviously, springtime is a much better time to sell than the middle of winter, so there will be a few bikes that go in order for a few bikes to come. But as far as the channel goes, I had a goal in order to upload 2 videos a week, every Tuesday and Thursday originally, but they went from every Tuesday to every Friday. We've been trying to get videos on this channel. And well, we averaged more than 1 video a week, but we didn't quite hit the threshold of 104 videos this year. I did, however, do 88 videos. But coming from not uploading for weeks or months in the past year, I'm very happy to stay consistent, and it seems that a lot of people are enjoying the channel. With that being said, there's nearly 3,000 new subscribers to the channel. If you guys are new, I appreciate you. Stick around, because I have a whole lot of great content coming in 2025. And we've also had some pretty solid content, if I do say so myself, in the past year. We did almost 600,000 views this year, but a lot of that was from one short, and I have since stopped uploading shorts and taken down all the shorts on this channel, and for a good reason. But we did 350,000 views on the channel this year, which is awesome, because when I first started doing this at the beginning of the year, I wasn't sure as to how the channel was going to go, but it seems like many people are enjoying the motorcycle stuff. I'm enjoying the motorcycle stuff, so I'm very happy that I get to share everything that I do with the people who want to watch. Talking a little bit about why I stopped uploading shorts, why I stopped doing that on this channel totally. In the past, I have a main channel, and that channel was hurt quite a bit by YouTube Shorts. Regardless, I wanted to just not have that problem whatsoever on this channel, so I decided to not upload those videos here at all. Recently, in the last couple days, I've been thinking about making a channel specifically for clips or shorts, so I'm happy to announce those who are interested in watching shorts, I have a new channel called Navscycles Clips. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. If you don't, that's completely fine, because this is going to be where I put most of my effort anyways. Last year I made a list of motorcycles I wanted to buy. I want to go over those bikes, and I also have a new list for 2025 of bikes I wish to purchase. So the list for 2023 at the beginning of the year was a CB300-4, a CB400-4, a BMW Urban GS R9T, a Kawasaki KLX 300 or some type of enduro, as well as a Norton and a Honda Goldwing 1000 from 1975 or 1976. And the final bike on the list was a BSA Gold Star. Going through the list, I bought a 350 and a 404. I did not buy an Urban GS because they're very expensive and I didn't come across a good one. Plus, I think they're still going to drop in value quite a bit. I didn't buy a KLX 300, but I did buy a TW 200, which was kind of like a baby step into getting into a true enduro at some point. But I did buy a Honda Goldwing 1000. In fact, I bought 2 of them this year because I just came across 2 really solid bikes. However, we did not buy any Norton this year, but last year I did say I wanted to buy another BSA. The new BSA Gold Star is coming out, and I said I would have loved to buy a old Gold Star, but I probably would end up buying another Flash or perhaps a Super Rocket or something. But 2 months ago, I bought a BSA Gold Star. The old Gold Star. So we knocked that off the list, and I think that just kind of completes the whole year as far as the collection goes. But with that being said, I had a fairly short list last year, and this year I actually bought 20 motorcycles. That's a lot of bikes. All through the bikes I did sell this year were bikes that I had bought this year, and there's still 17 bikes that I ended up purchasing at some point this year. With that being said, if anyone has any of the following bikes that I'm looking to buy this year, or you want to purchase one of my bikes, there's my email. If you ask nicely, I might consider selling it. Going into motorcycles I want to purchase in 2025 and bikes I've been looking for in 2024 but unable to get. The first bike on the list is a Kawasaki ZRX 1200. I've been looking for a ZRX for probably 9 months now. We don't have any Kawasaki's in the collection, and I very quickly want to change that because I like Kawasaki's. I've just had bad luck with them this year and in the past years. I've had a few problems with the ZRX. Primarily, they're overpriced and the owners are asking way too much money for them, and they're not worth the asking prices. Every once in a while, there's an 1100 that comes for sale a little north of $3,500. Simply just can't justify buying an 1100. I've been told to stay away from the 1100 and just stick to the 1200, but many people are asking over $5,000 for 1200s. The market's dictated they're not worth that much, so if anyone has a reasonably priced green 1200 for sale with lower miles, please let me know. There's people who have listed them for $7,500, $9,000 for 1100s. They're asking ridiculous prices for bikes that aren't worth it. So I think if the owners can ever correct and actually get realistic in the market, I will have one sitting in my garage, but until then, the hunt continues. Now, sticking with Kawasaki, this one is a little more unrealistic and probably will not happen next year, but I would love to have a ZXR 750. The ZXR with the tubes, the circle lights. They haven't inflated in price quite as much as some of the other bikes like the Gixxer 750 or the RC30 have. They're still hovering at a price where they're semi-achievable if you were to want the safer one, or if I sold some other bikes, I could justify buying one, unlike the RC30 where I would have to sell a huge chunk of my collection to have the one bike. Now, talking about Norton, I wanted to buy a Norton this year, but going into the next year, I would love to find a Atlas or Norton Dominator. The Commandos are cool. I've seen some Commandos come for good prices. I've seen them get away from me for good prices. I just can't justify paying up for a Commando when for the same price I could have an Atlas or a Dominator. Another bike I've been looking for is the first original Yamaha VMAX. I want the first couple of years of the VMAX, even though they do have some transmission problems, but it's another one of those bikes that owners ask way too much money for, and they're not worth that, and the market has dictated that. I'd love to have a mid to late 90s VFR right before they went to fuel injection, but ideally, I'm not going to pay up for a VFR just yet unless I find a really good deal on one, but I'd love to have the first VFR. Not the first VF, but the first VFR. Another Honda I'd love to have is a Honda Blackbird. It's one of those bikes that people are asking a little bit too much money for, and they've fallen quite a bit, and I think that they're worth what people are asking, but the market doesn't think that they're worth what people are asking. It's a bike I think in the future will go up a little bit in value, people begin to appreciate them a little bit, and they'll see a little bit of a rise from the current dip that they're in. So I'd love to pick one of those bikes up as soon as I can. And then the final bike on this list, if possible, once again, this is another bike that the market has dictated isn't worth what the owners are asking for it, is the Buell 1125R. I have a Buell XB12R, and a few years ago, that 1125R was a bike that was trading for over $5,000 very easily. But nowadays, many people just don't know what they are. Many people don't want them. In the future, I think it's a bike that's going to have a little bit of a swing up in the market, so I'd like to get them while they're cheap. Even though they are cheaper right now, they're not quite cheap enough for them to be selling on the market. And I don't want to pay over for a bike that I think is going to go up in the future because, well, I'd like to be in it, and if I want to be able to sell it within the year, I want to be able to do that. I haven't quite decided if that would be a bike I'd have for my permanent collection or a bike I would just have to ride around for a little bit. And I won't know that until I truly own one or ride one for an extended period of time. So I don't want to be upside down on a bike and if it doesn't go up in value, I don't want to be screwed. Which is the reason why I don't buy a lot of new bikes. But coming into this next year, something I want to do is experience some newer motorcycles. I want to experience adventure bikes, cruisers, but also experience bikes from 2015, 2016, and up. That might not necessarily be me buying them, but perhaps borrowing them from other people that I may know. Perhaps some dealerships might lend me some bikes, as well as getting into adventure bikes, getting into some dirt bikes a little bit, enduros a little bit, as well as some cruisers a little bit. Experience some more variety of motorcycles, because a lot of my bikes are cafe racer style, sports bikes, or standard bikes. And another huge thing is, with a new motorcycle, I really don't want to take a hit on depreciation, because my whole thing about justifying being able to buy one and not having one bike but having a collection of bikes is the fact that the used bikes don't dip and I can get in and out of them much more efficiently. But with that being said, there is still a way that I can get into some newer bikes, buy them, ride them, and still be able to swing in and out of them like the older bikes. It just takes a little bit more of a calculated risk. Going into the next year on this channel, I hope to upload the full 104 videos this year. 2 videos a week, every Tuesday and every Friday, and I hope to make them on time, meaning I hope to get them out towards the beginning of the day instead of later in the day like I have many times this year. And I can definitely keep up the consistency. I just gotta do it a little bit better, and that's what I want to do next year. As well as I want to continue improving the quality. When you compare my quality from last year to this year, I think it's come a long way. I also want to keep making the videos more informational, make them a little bit longer, as well as just make them better review videos. And I think the more I do them, the more I learn, the more I advance the content and make it better and better. I've been making videos for about 5 years on YouTube now, and on this channel I've been making them for about 1.5 years, and motorcycles was definitely a bigger learning curve than doing some of the other stuff I've done in the past. So I finally have a year under my belt and I have over 100 videos now, so beginning to understand how to create videos for this channel better and better every time I do. And that's just a big goal of mine, is to continue to do better, continue to improve, and continue to upload the highest quality video that I can. But ever since I started taking the channel seriously and really getting into it, it's been the same mission from then to now and will continue to be in the future. And the mission really is to just make the highest quality motorcycle videos I can really make. Videos revolved around reviews, writing, additions to my collection, as well as technical videos working on the motorcycles and just sharing bikes in general. And I continue to hope to do that in the future. Just showing bikes, and primarily hope to inspire people to buy more vintage bikes, get into them a little bit more, and show people they're really not as intimidating as many people have made them out to be. On this channel, I've seen more love than I've ever received, period, so I really appreciate that. People watching the videos and really enjoying them. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys next year.